I don't have any idea what I'm doing. God, that's weird. Fucking, I represent the Lollipop Guild.
For this week's video, yep, we're watching shit dry. It's actually not about that at all. It's just about how I fucked up casting this mold and made something else. Which ended up making way for me to make this project instead, which I ended up liking a whole lot more. And while my mold recovers from being miscast with the wrong type of resin, I was going to show you guys some little trinkets and stuff and make some like market stalls and stuff like that, but that project is a bust and may or may not appear in the future, and the filming of it was not going so great. So we moved on and I started on this project. So I had just gotten a new Proxxon table cutter, foam cutter, and cut out some circles and decided to poke holes in the sides of them to make spokes. And where we're actually going with this is we're going to turn this into a Ferris wheel at some point. But what you're seeing here is my first attempt at it, and it came out terrible, but it was a proving ground for what it was that I actually wanted to do. And that, when it was done, came out a lot better than what you see here.
Hey, you.
I'm just going to add a couple of pieces of slingshot ammo to my craft paints to use for agitators. You may have seen me start to do this recently, and I got tired of my paints settling, so adding these definitely helps. And sometimes if they're too thick, I'll even add a little bit of matte medium to them to thin them down a little bit, or even some distilled water. I almost messed up big time. I almost made this 7 inches. It's 7 inches from the base to the axle of the Ferris wheel. I need something to put it in, so I need an extra inch. And I caught myself this time. And we got 3 inches, so we need 1.5 inches. It's probably not, oh, it's pretty damn close to exactly 3 inches. Sometimes this pre-cut stuff is not exactly, but this piece is. It's not that frail. It's pretty strong, actually. I'm gonna build it up a little bit. Almost, I have almost another 8 inches here. All right, I know what I'm gonna do. Foam core. Decided that these are much too thick. I'm gonna go back over to the Proxxon and rip these in half and try a half of one of these instead. This is way too much material. It's gonna make these way too big. Bam, and like magic, we've got 2 nice little pieces here. So let's see what we can make out of this now. Let's see how we're looking here. Oh, that's much better. It's gonna be much better. All right, so now what I wanna do is, that's gonna go down. Some unevenness going here, so we're gonna fix that up. Oh, no, we're good. We're actually good. And I'm doing it this way so that it's the same height on all of them, because they're all standing up this way. At the end of the day, that's fine with me. Right through the other side. I'm gonna wait a little bit because this is smaller than the piece I'm trying to put in. Just make them a little bigger. So what I came up with was I have these sculpting tools I got from Michael's. They're for clay. So this is the tiniest bit that I have. What I did was I drew on some end grain on 2 sides, and then on one side connected them with some long grain, which when paired with this, even though it's a little bit cartoonish, it ends up looking like a nice gigantic tree cut in half just for the purpose of making this. So I like it. Came out nice. I'm hardly using any pressure at all to do this. This is very light. If I push too hard, though, it'll make a tear rather than a divot, I guess. Trying to make sure that the grain that I drew on the side is facing up. There'd be nothing worse to me than to have this
go together and have the grain end up on the wrong side and have to draw it again. Just using a fuck ton of hot glue on this. No reason to use anything else on this. I'm trying to keep these more or less parallel. Just trying to make sure that when I put the axle in, and it's able to go in evenly. Okay.
If you guys remember earlier, I said I had messed up making the original wheel for the Ferris wheel. So this is the second attempt, going back and just trying to do a better job keeping things straight, keeping things even, and doing my best to keep the pegs for the spokes of the wheel as straight as possible. Well, gang, I'm sorry. I did the grass flocking on this board, and I never showed you guys how to do it. I completely forgot to record myself doing it, so I apologize, and hopefully get a couple more videos of that in the future.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
A few moments later.
Between paper mache, Crowell's cheap air dry clay, and polyform air dry clay, which is a little bit more expensive. I did not bother testing Model Magic because I felt like this is not what its purpose is. I like to use it more for terrain than miniatures. We'll get to the pros and cons of the material, but first, some tips on the muzzle. Making the muzzles might be the easiest option for the tentacles. On long parts like this, clay might be a little bit too fragile, so be prepared to go back and do some fillings on these projects. I'm also exaggerating some definitions here and there. Thank you very much again for watching this episode of Frankie D Crafter. If you like what you see, you know what to do. If you want to stay updated on any upcoming projects, subscribe. I'll catch you on the flippity side.
Text is all photographed. You can't search for anything by text, so that's unfortunate. However, having a possible version of all of the illustration booklet is a huge plus. I consider the that way you can illustration booklet, and you can give the players the full experience of this dungeon. There's no need to run the players through this unless they meet all of the proper qualities. That NPC's soul is still alive, though it is in immediate danger, and unless the PCs go inside the Tomb of Horrors to rescue him, this NPC is going to be lost. A copy of this, give them to your players as they reach point, block out or cut off the corner numbers, that way it doesn't give them any unnecessary hints. But the handout book is very important to running this. The Forest is famous for its traps, and there are certainly some reliables. Pit traps, spear traps, and the like. To me, this is one of two things. Either one, the Dungeon Master was nerfing it, sort of letting him have it in the way that he is presented as module as is. After all, he was the first appearance of this monster. Just pick him up in the bag, skull and all into the sphere of annihilation. Yeah. If those dead demons and abilities that used to destroy them, very little evidence in other parties that have gone through here before. We do have these skills
more sense of this hobby and be able to better understand the videos they're watching. And this stuff is excellent for using as the substructure to EPS, which is expanded polystyrene, which is the bubbly white styrofoam that you get in packing material. It's pretty fun and pretty addictive. I don't know what else have.
It's actually genius. What's going on? What are they afraid of? I don't see anything here. Okay, you know what? I think we're gonna take a bit of
or one to stir trouble.
Neither. Just curious. Why do you care about this griffin?
Because I care about people. Beast has killed 10 already, including a few of my men. Hunted. Since then, it's grown bold. Attacks villages.
Thanks.
If you like what I'm doing here, as well as my other videos, consider becoming a subscriber. Also head on over to Patreon and consider supporting me over there so that these videos can continue to be made. Have a good holiday, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.